Good Wednesday morning for the podcast. Second cup of sunrise. Wednesday, December 3rd. He's James. I'm Brennan. Both of us wearing white shirts.
With blue ties.
How about that? Gosh, we're so basic. We're so basic. How about that?
Yeah, not the most exciting look,
yeah.
but that's what it is.
It is. We got a lot to catch up on today. I want to start with some of the weather because we had all the snow,
Yes.
all the accidents yesterday. Hope everyone was okay. It was just kind of a mess all throughout the morning. Yesterday afternoon, you had told everyone might get another quick round of snow.
Yes.
Around 5 o'clock hour.
Right.
So when it's dark now. We were out and about driving with the girls and going home, and Brooklyn just goes, "Dad, it's foggy." And I'm like, "No. That's snow
Yeah,
on the way." And it was just
snowish.
a mess timed right out.
Yeah.
Mid-morning yesterday, get an interesting message from the snowplow company. And it's the automated message goes out to everybody. And it said, weather and timing is what the subject line said. And I said,
Yeah.
oh boy, I'm bracing myself. This is some excuse not to plow coming
Right.
the way. And it said, we are well aware of the snow that's falling right now. And we're not going out yet. We're going to wait, see how close we get to that 3-inch snow mark, which is like the
Right.
general cutoff for everyone to start doing it.
Right.
And if we get to that point, we will dispatch and let you know.
Right.
And I said, okay. And then I drive home, get to my driveway, and I'm like, this is like 4 inches of snow that we're
Yeah.
up to. I can see deep tire tracks going in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they got to be going. And it was probably, I went inside, opened my email again. So within the hour, it said dispatched.
There it is.
All trucks going out on the routes. And I was
Yeah.
like, nice to see, nice to
Right.
hear. Yeah.
It's such an interesting threshold, the 3-inch threshold, because the forecast really was like 2 to 3
Yeah.
is what we were thinking. The airport got 3.2. There's a difference between what falls on your grass and what falls on blacktop. Usually what we forecast for is what falls on grass. So it's oftentimes a little bit lower on your driveway. And also there's a difference between a driveway that's facing south, a driveway that's facing north, a driveway that has trees over it, different shaped driveways, location of driveways within that spot. And the plow guys and gals have to not only figure out when to push the crews out, but try to get the timing right. So if it's like a 6-inch snowfall, they don't have to go out twice. So they
Right.
try to time it up the right way. And also, when you send out 50 people, you want to be able to let them know that it's going to happen 6 hours before. Like it's like anybody. You don't want to get called into work last minute.
Right.
You want to have a little bit of an outlook. So I'm glad that I'm not making that decision. I just tell you how much snow is coming.
Oh, I know, seeing it. I was never going to be the person to email in and be like,
Right, because
I think
Because you know there's 100 other people that do it. So you're like, you
that's
know
what I
what?
said. I said
Someone else will be there.
someone else has, and that's why it's
like-
coming around. So it was nice to see there on yesterday.
So you got to apply. So when did they come? Sometime in the afternoon.
Came around 1 o'clock
Yeah.
and was taken care of.
I mean, that's pretty much perfect because that's right about outside of the little 5 p.m. stuff we got. That's generally when everything was done.
I knew they came because I went out for a run outside yesterday. And whenever I came home, there was just a giant pile of leaves that had gotten thrown out into
Oh,
the middle of the
sure.
road with snow because of all from last week. And I was like,
Right.
oh, they did show up. Speaking of that, going running yesterday, so he couldn't be completely on the side of the road depending on which one it was.
Yeah.
And most people are very nice. They slide all the way over, even when it's perfect conditions, because they know it's a
Yeah.
runner or it's a walker, someone with
That's good.
with a stroller.
Yeah.
And I was just fine, feet a little wet, and I was coming back and I was walking the final part just as a cool down, and I was pretty clean and everything. And I'm about 100 yards from my driveway, and I
Yeah.
hear a car coming up behind me. Another one had already passed and moved further over. This one woman came right by me,
Oh boy.
didn't move over.
Yeah.
And I felt the stinging in the cold and being wet, covered in snow and ice before the car even got past
Oh
me.
no.
She comes by and it's like,
Just wipes you
and I'm
out.
like, did a plow just come by and scoop all this stuff on me?
Oh.
I was soaked all up and down the left side, all over. I wanted to
That's
give a nice
brutal.
little finger salute,
I can imagine.
but I didn't do it. I held up my hands just up in the air, like,
Yeah.
what are you
Really?
kidding me?
Oh,
I was
that's brutal.
covered by it.
So it was you're walking on the right side and they kind of zip past you.
I made it to the right side, and they zipped
Yeah.
past me, and it's just the spray from the snow and the ice in the
that's
middle,
brutal.
and it was just it's covered. And I was like, man, I had a good day up until then.
Right.
But,
You ever see the guys in the summertime I remember there used to be always this one guy. He would like play a joke, and after heavy rain, there was in Brighton, there was always like this one spot that got a ton of water pooled in, and he would sit there with his lawn chair and like reading a newspaper, and he'd put a sign that said "Spray me," basically, and people would go by and just
They would.
accelerate and on purpose because he'd ask for it. And it was so funny to see this guy casually reading a newspaper on a lawn chair and just getting just totally sprayed with water.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like a
Do
joke.
It.
Yeah, it was
Oh
pretty
man,
funny.
that's fun. He was asking for it.
Yeah.
I
were
wasn't. Some stuff to talk about here today. We'll get into LinkedIn, which was interesting.
Yeah.
You brought that conversation before we started the pod.
Yeah.
First, I want to start with some customer service issues. I spoke Monday how over the weekend, got a new phone, moved from AT&T to Verizon. And what I wanted to do was go online and set up my account to have it, so the billing, everything, take care, auto pay, whatever I need to set up. So I have my number, have my email, the emails I got from the receipt from the store the other day, and I get onto the app and I log in, and I had the hardest time finding, for one, I put in my phone number. They're like, we don't have any record of this. I'm like, great. So I put in I tried to set up a new account, and they're like, you already have one for your Gmail. And I'm like, okay. So I tried logging in, couldn't.
Yeah.
Try secret answers to reset my password.
Sure.
Where did you and your wife first meet? And I put in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Oh boy.
Surfside Beach. Wrong. And I'm like, what would I put for this answer?
Yeah.
So finally, I get a text, and they send it to my phone. I reset everything, and I log in. And I must have had Verizon when we lived in Virginia for internet, and it rung a bell. So it logged me back into this account. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to reconnect the phone. Wouldn't happen. It said, we have no record of that. And so I tried setting the new account again. It said, no, you've already got one. So I'm like, all right, let's get on the chat. I'm going to talk to customer service.
Yeah.
AI pops up first all the time, which is fine. And I just say, speak to a representative, please.
They're never going to do that. They're never going to fix the problem for you.
And they're like, what can we help with? And I'm like, account, speak to a representative. It said,
you could have fixed the problem without a representative. You would have already done it.
I know, exactly. You would have, Siri, whatever we want to call you for Verizon.
Right.
One woman comes on, I think her name was Anna or something, said, hi, I can help you with your problem. And I'm like, here's the thing. I've got some years old account, and I'm trying to link a phone number to it.
Yep.
Like, well, you've reached Fios, the internet service. Let me direct you to someone in the phone. I'm like,
part of
great.
Verizon.
So it's like, disconnect that chat. They send me over to another one. Some guy pops up, hi, how can I help you? I tell him the same thing. He's like, well, you've reached Verizon sales department.
Oh, no.
Let me try to connect you to someone else
Transfer
who
you
can help with
over.
this. Right. And they transfer me over, and they're like, hi, I can help you with this. And I'm like, I'm trying to connect my phone with my account.
Yeah.
They're like, you've reached the wrong department.
3 times?
3 people.
Jeez.
And I'm like, how many departments are there? So I finally log off, and I don't know what I did on the app, if it was some other step, and all of a sudden it was, boom, the accounts merged together.
It worked.
So I got it all taken care of. Just some glitch in the system, and I wasted an hour and a half of my time trying to figure that out.
Oh my gosh, that's brutal.
You ever have customer service problems? You just want to speak to someone, right?
Insurance.
Oh,
Insurance is
yeah.
painful. That's the bane of my existence is
Yeah.
fighting insurance.
Yeah.
I've had so many claims rejected. I've had one success where they made a mistake and they double charged me and I saved like $350. But for the most part, it's been very painful for insurance issues. Knock on wood, this company has significantly improved their insurance, and the one that we have right now is great. Open enrollment just closed a few weeks ago, so I'm very happy with what we have now. But in the past, it's been tough. And also, by the way, you remind me, I was in Virginia also for 3 years, and we had Verizon TV and internet, and it was really great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and it's not here at all. And I remember when I came back, I was like bummed to know that Verizon didn't have, because the TV was cheap and it was easy and it worked really well on my TV, and the internet also, I had no issues with it at all.
It was the first time that I used a company that was the fiber optic cables. Like they were the first one to do it. It's what Greenlight does here, and it's why everyone wants it. And it was cheap and it was fast.
Yeah. Verizon, man, come back. I know they're not just a phone company.
No, it's now Spectrum, Greenlight, and Frontier is the one going around putting in lines, trying to get people to sign
Frontier's
up.
been here forever. I feel like Spectrum showed up, and then Greenlight showed up after that.
Yeah. So that's, I was like, I don't care if you're in the States. I don't care if you're in the Philippines. I want to speak to somebody who's a real human. And 3 of them couldn't do it if they were 3 real people. And then I stumbled into it by accident. So I'll get all that set up. On social media and everything, you asked,
Have you ever been on LinkedIn?
You've been on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so I'll explain to you why I brought it up to you, because I got like some random notification. I was just clearing notifications. Pulled up LinkedIn, and I like hadn't logged in months and months. I'm not looking for a job. I love this place. I'm not going anywhere. But it popped up, and I'm like, I started to scroll on LinkedIn, scrolling, and I'm like, I'm seeing posts, I'm seeing shorts, I'm seeing reels, I'm seeing stories as well.
This is Facebook.
It was just like Facebook. It was just like Instagram. I was like, this is just another social media thing. I'm like, and there's people like giving advice on what to do on your first interview and like what to do at your job and stuff like that. And I'm like, none of it felt good to me. And I'm like, I felt like an ick. You know what I mean? Like, this is not what it used to be. I thought LinkedIn was you connect with other people that might be working in your industry and then potentially like try to find a job.
I have an account. The only times I've set it up, and the only times just like you that I thought people use it, is when they're looking for work or applying for jobs. And I update it every time I'm in between jobs. So it's been like 3 times in this business. And I just put a new resume reel, some clips up there for my stuff.
Yep.
And then I just change used to work here or now work here. And come to find out, whenever I do the GRE interviews every couple of weeks here monthly at the station, they're very active on it, and they'll tag me on it, and I'll see you've got 32 new interests or people liking your page. I'm like, okay, no one really uses it. It turns out, anecdotally, just about anyone who's not in our business uses LinkedIn.
I think it's much bigger, in other industries.
People use it all the time. Right. Like, they check it, they do post. It is literally a social gathering. It's not just for business.
I saw my buddy posted a picture. It was like going on a ski trip today. I'm like,
why? Why is it on LinkedIn?
This is not. Yeah, and he kind of spun it in a way like, make sure to like, get your daily exercise to make you feel better. And I'm like, okay, this feels a little silly.
We got to do a What's Up Rock for that to see how many people use it. My wife, she is in PR, but she's like, yeah, honey. She's like, so many people do. And I'm like, why?
It's just another thing I got to do.
Yeah, another post out of like 4 or 5 of them.
TVjobs.com. You remember that website?
I do. Yeah.
That was like the OG finding a TV job. And I remember that's like how I got my first job. And it was just the most basic, clunky website. I'm sure it probably is still up. And I remember it looked like an Excel spreadsheet of, market, job, availability. And then I remember it was like $20 a year, I think, for a subscription or something like that. And I remember getting it right out of college and just pretty much going to every single market and just blasting my reel to all the news directors.
It was the same thing for me. So that would have been like summer of 2012. I'm back home after Syracuse, living with my dad, applying for jobs.
Right.
And I would spend hours each day. And it would be like, okay, there's 3 affiliates in every market. There's 3 news directors, email address.
Yeah.
Let me just email every single one of them.
Yep.
Same thing. Looking for a job. See you're hiring for an anchor or reporter. Here's my info. Would get nothing. And it would just be over and over in probably every market in the country. And it's Stockton, California.
Yes.
It's nowhere, Florida, Montana, Michigan.
Iowa, anywhere.
And would get nothing.
Right.
And then finally one day, I had made it through and emailed the news director in Myrtle Beach, and 30 minutes later, get an email response. It's different now, this business. And people look and they're like, why do I see so many new faces on TV? And it's just, now you're looking and begging people to come work and trying to find it.
I think it's easier now to like reach out to the people that you need to get to, because like our news director, he's an email away and he checks his email, and you could easily email him. You could call here in no problem. And also YouTube. You literally just have your reel on YouTube. Here's a link. This is my stuff right here. I think it's easier and harder at the same time. I think it's easier to apply. It's easier to get your stuff out there, but it's harder because, I remember, for our weekend position that, Kayla Smith is now in. Glad that she was the one that we picked. But Eric told me we got like hundreds of applicants, but only a few of them were any good, So I think like it's kind of weird. It's like everybody's flooding their stuff out there. So it's harder to pick, but on the same level, it is easier to apply in general.
Yeah, to do that. We were a couple of years after of actually having to package something up and drop it off at UPS and send a tape or a DVD to anyone. We just missed out on that. We got more to talk about here on Sunrise, the Second Cup. This story about a drunk raccoon
That's so good.
It's so good. That's coming up here in just a bit. Back here on the Wednesday Morning Pod, second cup of sunrise. I'm Brennan with James as always. It's not often when you see a headline or read the news that you're just like, jaw drops and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What? And then this came up this morning. Here's the headline, RochesterFirst.com. Raccoon goes on a drunken rampage in Virginia liquor store and passes out on the bathroom floor with the photo of the guy. It says, this was in Ashland. The mass burglar broke into the closed liquor store early Saturday and hit the bottom shelf where the scotch and whiskey are stored. The bandit was something of a nocturnal menace. Bottle smash, ceiling tile collapse, booze all over the floor.
Yeah.
The suspect acted like an animal because, in fact, he is a raccoon.
Yeah.
An employee showed up and found everything, and the trash panda passed out on the bathroom floor at the end of his drunken escapade.
Walking in and seeing all the bottle smash and being like, oh my gosh, like what happened? Like we got robbed. Like this place is destroyed.
Exactly.
And then going into the bathroom and then seeing the raccoon.
The picture's
just
awesome.
Zonked out next to the toilet. It's just so ironic that that's the spot that the raccoon chose.
This quote from Samantha Martin, an animal control officer, said, "They're funny little critters. He fell through one of the ceiling tiles and went on a full-blown rampage, drinking everything." They took the raccoon back to the animal shelter to get it some treatment. They had some giggles along the way.
Yeah. So hard day at dumpster diving, you know?
Yeah, for real. I mean, my guy. And they said after a few hours of sleep and zero signs of injury, other maybe than the hangover and poor life choices, he was released back into the wild.
I guess they can eat like fermented cranberries and things like that.
Oh, yeah,
and
so
there's like ferment that will still like have a little bit of booze in it, I guess. Fermented fruits and things like that, like a cider.
Oh.
So they are known to get drunk, and this just the full bore. You can imagine they're just licking everything up and then wobbling through the store
And waking up and just cuddling the toilet right there after a wild night. I mean, it just like, it's so funny. When you go through and just see the trail of destruction and then, wow, that was wild. That was funny.
Right, that's a good story.
Something other that got our attention. So it was just like it feels like last week. The TSA says, if you don't have your real ID, here you go. $18 extra.
Yes.
We're going to start charging you as more incentive because their thing is there's a whole new extra step verification system because real IDs are harder to fake. They came about after 9/11. Just want to prove who you are if you don't have a passport. And then all of a sudden, they're like, no, not 18.
Here we go.
It's going to be $45.
Ooh, baby.
And this would start in the new year. So what they're going to do is this is the Real ID requirement. We know it was put off for years, kicked in officially this year for anyone flying out of a U.S. airport. The TSA says nearly everyone, about 94% of passengers have Real ID or a passport, another form of ID to get you through. But for the 6% who don't, yes, another almost $50 starting February 1st to get through. And we stopped by the Rochester airport yesterday to just get some feedback on this.
That seems quite as substantial. Like even if they just did $20, you forgot you don't have your ID, you're paying $20. It may be an option if someone forgot to get their ID. At least they can get through, and you can pay the money.
But I just feel like maybe we should have like some kind of like DMV thing at the airport. If you're gonna charge $45, you might as well have that set up here, so they can get the real ID here.
I like that. A DMV kiosk.
Have the mobile DMV right there. Yeah.
You could set it up. It could be all digital. You put in your documents, face recognition.
Yeah.
Here it is, and we'll have it. But
Far away.
man, so let's say your flight's $300. It was going to be another 18 on top of that, and then almost 50.
Right. That's
Sure.
funny. At that point, you really that's like talk about incentive to go get it.
Yeah, and getting the Real ID, and they do have DMV appointments now. There's no extra cost. It's the same thing that you would pay to get whatever license. So let's say it's $30. It was going to be that
price.
Yeah,
You'll just upgrade it.
the same thing.
What are you wearing to the airport when you're traveling? Are you going like some of these people, like you're literally just got out of bed pajamas, or are you trying to class it up a little bit?
We're not supposed to anymore. Wasn't it Sean Duffy, the
Oh,
head of the DOT, had a recent interview.
Yes.
It was with Fox News, and it was pre-holiday, so they're in the Thanksgiving travel stretch. And he was asked basically, what can make flying easier, better for everyone? And he said, how about everyone start dressing up again?
Class it
Start
up.
class it up. Start wearing the suits. Stop showing up in your PJs and everything like that. And I'm like, I don't know. Whenever I pack to go on a trip, whatever I'm flying on the plane, I don't give much thought to it. It's whatever's left at home that's clean. That I've already packed the suitcase. Let me just throw something on. But
for me, it's almost always jeans.
Yes.
Because or dress pants, or I've gone to a wedding and I wore the wedding suit there because I didn't want it to like wrinkle and when I packed it, and because of the sweatpants things falling out of the pockets problem. That for me, it's like my keys, my wallet, my phone, right? Those three things slip out of those sweatpants pockets. So it's for me, it's no sweatpants ever at the.
I like having the pockets, even if it's got to remove the belt, whatever.
The belt, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to pack a belt. I'd rather just wear it.
I do love it whenever you do get to the TSA and they're like, you think that you've unloaded everything, you put it in enough separate storage containers to make the agents happy.
Yeah.
And it always, without fail, it's like, sir, just too packed in here, you need to spread out, or the iPad shouldn't be there, the laptop shouldn't be there.
You missed something.
But we'll have that to look forward to if you don't have that Real ID for the new year. Right. Speaking of some of the tech and gadgets, there's this lab in New York City, Mount Sinai, that studied the benefits of the Oura Rings, the Garmins, the Apple Watches, everything else like that, because once again, they're among the top wish list for holiday gifts this year. Sales have gone up a lot, something like 80% compared to this time a year ago. Everyone wants to know what's going on, but what are the actual benefits?
24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days during the year. You're getting health information similar to what you will be able to get, or you get usually in the clinic. I think that's fantastic.
They're the scientists there in New York City who study this. Some of them are expensive. They can be $500, $600. Some of them can be just basic step counters, like $30 or $50. We did ask, and it was pretty much split about 55-45 if people wear anything. You used to have an Apple Watch, but it was too much.
Yeah. It bothered me too much. First off, that guy that they interviewed there, do you know who Peter Attia is? He's like a famous health guy for longevity.
He's the one who recently did a 60 Minutes interview with Norah O'Donnell. I thought it was the same guy at first.
Doesn't he look like
Yes.
It's like Peter Attia's like long-lost Italian brother.
All healthy people. It's a shaved head, fit, looking good. Yeah. I mean, here it is again.
See, I saw Peter Attia, and I'm like, no, that's not Peter Attia. Isn't that kind of funny?
I thought it was too. Yeah, with that.
Oh, I was laughing. I wanted to mention it, but I figured I could save that comment for here.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of his, he's got a big podcast, health podcast that's got some really interesting information on there. But no, I did the Apple Watch, and I loved when I was working out to see what my heart rate was. That was great because I knew I could, like, if I really wanted to jack it up, I could get it to 150, see how long I could hold it there. If not, I'd get it down to 130. Like, that was really cool because I was the guy that was doing this, all the time. I don't work out as much now, which is fine because of the kids and stuff. And it just, the notifications, which I probably could have turned off, but it was just too much for me. So I love watches. I love wearing a watch. I'm almost always wearing a watch 100% of the time unless I'm showering or sleeping, but the smart stuff, not for me.
I do have a Garmin which I wear just about 24/7.
Yeah, you're always
except for when it's charging. I mean, shower, sleep, everywhere. I enjoy it. I had some health issues with anxiety in the past. That's how I first got into Fitbit, and now I like it for the sleep, the heart rate. They do say whenever you're working out, heart rates with these, like the wrist monitors, grain of salt is the saying. Like, it could be 15 off.
Right.
So you can do a heart rate monitor. But listen, if it gets people up and moving, get some steps, that's fine with us. That does it for our show.
How about that?
We're done. We'll be back on air at noon, back here tomorrow for the pod.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.